We dedicate this book to the subtropical savanna biome because of climate change, poaching, and habitat loss that endangers the biome. Protecting subtropical savannas are important because they are filled with many ecosystems and life that take up large portions of Africa and South America. Preserving these ecosystems help keep animals alive and can help decrease the effects of climate change. The instrumental values that subtropical savannas provide are homes for millions of people around the world and some sustainable resources for us to use. We can help protect subtropical savannas by learning more about them and sharing it with others. Assisting in conservation programs by volunteering or donating is helpful too.
Somewhere deep in the subtropical savannas of Africa, 4 hyena outlaws woefully gather to discuss. Ivy, Rolf, and Kurt follow Kane, their leader, as they leave what was once their home.
We barely got away from those selfish ogres. We need to take over a waterhole and fast.
I've heard stories of a waterhole somewhere deep in the savannah.
Yeah, let's just go take over a watering hole like the big bad hyenas that we are.
Enough! Just as Rolf said, we must find water fast. It doesn't matter how we do it or who we hunt, we gotta survive. After a few days of searching, they come across the Dusty Canteen waterhole, and they decide it is a satisfactory place to live in. As they come in, they notice that there are already zebras and wildebeests that are occupying all the shade provided by the giant acacia tree. Without hesitation, the hyenas jump in, laughing and yelling to scare the other animals away. Screams of terror soon filled the savanna air as an attack had ensued.
In an attempt to leave, one of the zebras, Zephyr, gets caught by Rolf. As Rolf successfully gets a hold of the zebra, he brings it to Kane as a welcome home gift. In minutes, all the town animals scatter to save their own lives. A few days pass, and many of the animals have not ate or drank in days. An elderly giraffe named Twiga decides she has had enough with these mischievous bandits. She sets on a journey to find her old, retired sheriff friend, Kifaru, in hopes he could help solve the issues in the village.
Twiga began her journey not knowing how long it might take. She searched far and wide for several days. She passed through countless bundles of whistling thorns, which seemed to be the only plants thriving during the dry season because of their ability to reach groundwater, but Kifaru was not found. Eventually, she found him near a lone baobab tree, munching on a spongy fruit he had saved from a harvest from the dry season. She was met with not only her rhino friend, Kifaru, but also an oxpecker. Twiga? It's been a while.
Who's this?
Hey, I'm Joel. Nice to meet ya. We don't get many visitors out here. What are you here for?
We need your help, Kifaru.
I'm retired.
I know, and I wouldn't be here unless I had to be. Zephyr was killed.
This hit Kifaru deep. He'd been friends with Zephyr since they were kids. Who did it?
4 hyenas came in and took over the Dusty Canteen saloon in minutes. Please, Kifaru.
Fine. One last duty to fulfill. For Zephyr.
Joel here. 15 plus years ago, Kifaru was the village's well-known and respected sheriff. Throughout his years employed, he was known for taking down the worst of the worst, keeping the village safe. However, despite being a hero for the village animals, his tiring job eventually got to him, and he realized that being a hero was wearing him out. After great consideration, he finally decided it was time for him to rest. He quit privately so that the village animals would not make a noisy party about his retirement. Leaving the village was hard, but he knew it was for the best, for himself as he found a peaceful home far away.
After getting everything together, the 3 animals, Kifaru, Joel, and Twiga, hurried off back to the village. It had been 15 plus years since his last mission as an officer who enforced the law in the savannah. He had done no sort of preparation for the events that were in his future. All he had wanted was to enjoy the peace of the savannah, but now he has to bring right to his friend who was wronged.
Upon reaching the village, Kifaru realized that the situation he had been thrown into was much more dire than he expected. The howls of laughter from the hyenas could be heard from over a mile away as they approached. The dusty canteen under the huge acacia tree has been completely taken over, and the hyenas force all the other animals to give them small gifts in order to get a small amount to drink.
Who are you? What are you doing here? I'm here to see your boss, responded Kifaru. Laughter filled the area from Rolf, Kurt, and Ivy.
Let him in.
Are you the one they call Kane?
Depends on who's asking.
I'm Kifaru, and I'm here to bring right to those who deserve it.
Kifaru tried to convince Kane to leave the other animals alone, but Kane just laughed at him. This is my town now. Get lost, old-timer. Defeated, Kifaru left and met up with the other animals. He didn't want to resort to violence, but it looked like that's what it must come to. Twiga and Kifaru came up with a plan to help take back the waterhole.
There has to be a way to drive the hyenas out of the saloon.
Not a chance. We are a bunch of herbivores who thrive off of silly plants like the elephant grass that grows around the savanna. We eat fallen fruit. They eat us. If we anger them, we will all have the same fate that Zephyr fell to.
So it's settled. I will challenge the hyenas to a duel.
And it was set. It would be a rhinoceros versus a hyena in a duel.
Kifaru approached the hyena Kurt, who was standing guard. I challenge your leader to a duel to bring the Dusty Canteen back to all animals who have a right to life. Kurt looks around giggling.
Can y'all believe this guy? He wants to challenge a hyena to a duel. What, are you guys gonna do it in the tall African finger grass where you stick out like a sore thumb?
Actually, that's exactly what I was thinking. I want to give whoever duels me the best advantage they can get.
Both Kane and Kifaru met in the tall thick grass where they both agreed upon the stakes and went their separate ways. The howl of a hyena signaled that the duel was on. Kifaru had lots of experience in duels, but it had been many years since he had participated in one. His legs didn't work like they used to, and his horns had cracks in it. However, he had become much more wise over time and knew of all the strategies Kane would attempt to take him down.
Kane immediately used the tall grass to his advantage by slinking around and sneaking up on Kifaru. Kifaru knew that Kane would attack his old, tired legs, so when the hyena leapt out of the grass at one of his back legs, he swiftly kicked him in the stomach, sending him flying. Kane wasn't about to give up, though. He relentlessly kept surprise attacking Kifaru, attempting to take out one of his legs with bites and scratches, and inflicting damage many times. However, Kifaru's strong kicks proved to hurt the hyena more than he showed. Eventually, Kane mercifully accepted defeat. All the animals gathered around the dejected hyenas as they began pleading for mercy. All we wanted was something to drink.
Some scary beasts took over our home, so we had to flee.
We needed something to drink, or else we were gonna melt away.
I suppose if y'all had no intentions of harming anyone, I would have been kinder to you. But you killed my childhood friend while selfishly taking over a place that all the animals in our village loved. For your actions, I am forced to send all 4 of you to jail.
The 4 hyenas were sent to the village jail. They were provided something to drink and eat, but whenever they were released, they would have to find a new home. Kifaru ended up staying in the village to catch up with old friends he hadn't seen in a while. And much to his dismay, the village animals threw a surprise welcome home party to celebrate his return. All was good in the savannah.